Now that was a good noise. Let's do it again.
Wow. Molly and I are recreating drunk history. Molly, tell us the story you're telling today.
Hello.
This is Molly.
I'm going to tell you about H.H. Holmes. I'm from Chicago, so this is very near and dear to my heart.
You're not from Chicago, don't lie.
I live in Chicago.
Much better.
Let me finish this.
That was disappointing.
Okay, I'll save that for later. That's
Just
not
tell
dark
me the
enough.
story.
I'm going to buy you. Hello.
Hello.
Today I'm going to talk to you about H.H. Holmes.
Okay.
America's first serial killer.
Whoa.
Did you know?
The first one?
Yes.
What about Christopher Columbus?
Okay. H.H. Holmes was born to a very wealthy family. His original name was Howard something Mudgett. I'm H.H. Holmes.
Whoa.
H.H. Holmes grew up pretty normal life, went to high school, graduated high school, got married to a woman whose name I do not remember, had a child with this woman, and began attending medical school. Halfway through attending medical school, he was like, alright, I don't like this, I'm gonna go to a different school. Sorry, wife and child. Bye forever.
Okay.
And then he was gone.
Okay.
And then he went to a different medical school and finished it. And then he began traveling around to different cities. One of the cities was New York City. You may have heard of it. It's a big one.
Yeah.
And he was selling prescriptions there. One of the prescriptions killed a small boy. Did I do that? Casey moved to another town.
It's like the Music Man, except
murder. Yeah. And then he moved to another town, and then he was seen hanging out with some small boy, and that small boy disappeared, and everyone was like, that's weird. He was like, okay, time to move to another town. And then he moved to Chicago.
Wow.
The time, 1890.
Wow.
A very exciting time in Chicago. Chicago in 1890 is, people living in Chicago are very proud of Chicago. Up and coming city, they are hard workers. After the Chicago fire, nearly the entire city was burnt down, and they rebuilt the entire city in 40 years.
Okay.
It was like a great feat. However, their main profit was from cows, so pretty much the whole city smelled like cow. So no one really respected Chicago. Chicago was like, F you everyone, we're gonna host the World's Fair. Chicago is awesome. Chicago is cool. Chicago is better than New York because we are real people, we're not losers. That was a side note. Now let me tell you about H.H. Holmes. Here he comes, stepping off the train in Chicago. He moves to Edgewater, which is a southern suburb of Chicago. And here he is. He's like, I'm a doctor. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna work at a pharmacy. Now let me jump back for a second. When H.H. Holmes was in all these cities killing little boys, he was also convincing his friends to take out life insurance policies with him as the beneficiary. He's like, this is a really good idea. There are no ulterior motives. Why wouldn't you do this?
Right.
And then one of his best friends in college, here's a good idea. We'll dig up this dead body and we'll claim the money from the life insurance policy. And they did that for a while. And then he was like, great. Now that we've done that, I'm just going to kill you, my friend, and then now I have more money from all these life insurance policies. Now he's moved to Chicago. Here we're back in the present time, 1890, Chicago. He finds his pharmacy. Hell yes, I want to work here. I love medicine, and the old lady hires him. So then he works at his pharmacy. Then he's like, hey, you're old. Why don't I just buy this from you? I have all this money from dead people's life insurance policies. I'll just buy this pharmacy from you. And then she moved to California. That was weird. Some people think that he killed her. Who's to say? Then he's like, I'm bored of this. You know what I need to do? Build a dungeon so I can kill people in it. He designs his own building. It is 3 stories high with a dungeon. This building is the most confusing architectural building that has ever been built. There are a lot of doors. There are a lot of doors that go to nowhere. And there are a lot of doors that go to secret tunnels that go to the basement where there is a furnace so you can burn bodies. The way that he kept people from being like, huh, weird, is that he'd hire builders for like 3 months, and then he would just fire them all for no reason. And then he'd hire a bunch of other builders, so no one really knew what was going on.
Clever.
So pretty crazy. So then he builds this whole building. Oh. That was a burp. Let me take a drink.
Okay. Oh.
And let me tell you something about H.H. Holmes. He has the bluest eyes anyone's ever seen. Everyone is like, wow. I love you and I trust you. You are a man that I would trust basically with everything.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna draw a quick picture of H.H. Holmes.
Okay. Does he have a Hitler mustache?
No, he's got a big bushy mustache.
Oh, okay. Show it to the
Wait, let me
audience.
label it.
Okay.
This is H.H. Holmes. Oh yeah, I forgot the part where he changed his name to H.H. Holmes. That happened because of all the suspicion.
The murdering, yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Now let me tell you another thing about H.H. Holmes. He was a master of sweet-talking people. Basically, he never paid for anything. His entire murder castle, as it is named, never paid for any of it. Because he'd be like, he'd take things out on loan, he'd be like, I'll pay you back. And then he would come up with fake names for people. Like the person that owned the building was named something else. But it was him. He just came up with a fake name for someone else to own the building. So when people would come to collect their debts, he'd be like, sorry, I wish I could help you, but I've never seen this Alexander character around. He's never here. I'll let you know if I see him. But he didn't exist. Where was I? Also, this building's like really fucking ugly because he's not an architect. But he's like, I better design it because if I tell an architect about everything that I want in my building, they'd be like, that's kind of freaking weird.
With the dungeon.
And the special tunnel, and the chutes, and all the doors that lead to nowhere. Maybe suspicious. So here he goes. He builds this building, which should have only taken 6 months to build, but it took 18 months because he kept firing workers and hiring new workers. Finally, it's done. Here he is. He opens up this pharmacy. You know what? I need a lot of young females to be stenographers at my pharmacy. That's the only option. And the ladies love Holmes. They're like, your eyes, dreamy. He, was very touchy. This is a time where women are, newly liberated. The first time where women are really going out and having jobs for themselves, living their independent lives. There are a lot of women. One woman and her husband move in. He, seduces her. Come be my stenographer. Okay. And she brings her husband and her daughter, and they move into the apartment. And this goes on for a while, and then she and Holmes start having an affair, obviously.
Yeah.
And the husband's like, guys, can you, stop it? And Holmes is like, we're not even doing anything. And the wife's like, seriously, you're being here. And then they're like, you're crazy. And he's like, no, you're crazy. I'm leaving. And then he leaves. This girl and Holmes are perfect. But then she gets pregnant. Uh-oh, they're not married. That's gonna look really bad. You should have an abortion. Don't worry, I'm a doctor. I can do it for you. Surprise! Chloroform. You're dead. Let me just throw you down this chute. Where's your daughter? Surprise! Chloroform. Dead. Throw you down the chute. Light you on fire. Bury you in my basement. And everyone's like, hey, where's that stenographer? He's like, oh yeah, she moved home. She's getting married. Huh, weird that she never told us. I know, weird. And they're like, we trust you. You have beautiful eyes. So anyway, then this other lady comes around. He's like, hey, I love you. Want to come work in my store and also get married? And she's like, yes. And then, surprise, surprise, murdered, dead. That was easy. Love to murder people. Now here we go. The World's Fair is coming up. So many people are going to be coming to Chicago. This is a great time for Chicago. We're all really excited about it. This crazy building I've built, what should it be? A hotel. He calls it the World's Fair Hotel. All these people are coming from all over. And who are they? Young women. You come stay in my hotel. It's going to be freaking great. And they do. Now, remember how he has all those fake doors that lead to nowhere?
Yes.
He hears them in the middle of the night, opening doors. He's like, oh my god, So sorry that you're opening doors. Whoops, I pushed you into my basement and now you're dead from gas and now I light you on fire. Whoops. This went on for a while. The time is 1893.
It's 1893.
It's 1893.
Everyone.
He killed between 20 and 200 people. Now that is a wide range. After the World's Fair, people keep coming to him, asking for him to repay his debts because they're getting suspicious about all these fake people that he made up. And also this one lady, the first woman, this lady that was her friend, is like, are you sure she moved away? Because seriously, that seems weird. And like, seriously, she was my friend. And seriously, like, she would have seriously told me if she was going. Did you kill her? No. But I feel a little weird about this. Maybe it's time to get out of here. Wraps up, burns the rest of his body, so it's like, okay, let me get out of here. Whoops, half my building burned down. Insurance money, please, for my building burning down? I love to collect insurance money. Oh my gosh. He's got a friend. His name's Pitzel, Petergrad, something like that. And his friend helped him build his building, and he was the one guy that was like loyal to him and helped him do some of the insurance fraud stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh buddy, here we are, let's do some more insurance fraud stuff. And the guy's like, great idea, but then it was a big prank because he killed his friend again.
Oh no.
But then convinced his friend's wife that his friend was still alive. You know what you should do? Give me custody of all your children, and then I'll help find your husband. This sounds like a really good idea. And I trust you. Great, you're dead. Then he takes their children and then runs away and kills all of them. And then the police are like, hey, this Holmes character hasn't paid any of his debts. Not that he's murdered 20 people, he hasn't paid any of his debts. Let's arrest him for not paying any of his debts. And then he gets arrested for that. And then he gets let go. Wait a second, where are all these people? Wait, look at his home that got burnt down. We have to do research on it for insurance to make sure that it wasn't insurance fraud. Oh god, why is there a dungeon here? Why are there so many bones in his dungeon? Then he gets arrested, and he says, let me show you his picture again. I'm not sorry for anything that he did. He's like, I was born with the devil inside me. Poets can't help but write poetry. I can't help but kill. Fuck all of you. I don't even give one single shit about anything I did. And then they publicly hang him in 1894.
Whoa.
Some people believe that he was actually Jack the Ripper as well, because his great-grandson has all of his diaries, and his great-grandson read in his diaries about him having affairs with prostitutes in London and killing them. Is H.H. Holmes also Jack the Ripper? Right? And that's H.H. Holmes, first serial killer in America.